Welcome to Made in Spain. I'm your host, Nalini Sharma, along with
Laura Senior.
co-host.
Laura Senior. Nice to be here, everyone.
Yeah, this is turning out to be an exciting year. We've got a lot to talk about, and we thought, why not talk about wine as well as whining, which is, let's just save that for, we're going to talk about that in Slice of Life. So
wine and whining with an H.
Right. Which will be explained in moments, mere moments. But Spain is known as, one of the top 3 wine producers in terms of volume and quality throughout the world on a yearly basis. And we're very lucky. One of the cool things about doing this podcast is having the ability to kind of explore, sometimes just in our own backyard. Mm-hmm. We're going to tell you a little bit about a winery that's very close to where we live. It's 10 minutes from where I live. We'll get to that in a second. But we first want to deal with a viewer question or a listener question, which we get asked this a lot. So I didn't really put a name to it, but food, obviously very big. What is your favorite tapas?
What's your favorite tapa? I'd love to hear from you first.
Tortilla.
Yeah. I know that is true. Because every time we go to a market or we go to a bar or we go anywhere, Nalini's like, oh, there's tortilla.
It's
like an emotional reaction. It's like tortilla.
This is refresher. When people, you say tortilla, people might think it's the tortilla as in the shell.
No.
The flat.
Good point.
Yeah, that is not what tortilla is here. Tortilla it's an egg and potato for like a quiche or a pie.
Basically, it's potato, eggs, and olive oil, and a bit of salt, and in some cases, onion. But that's a whole
that's another
can of worms.
Yeah,
that we don't want to go
talk
down.
about that. Some people put onion, some people don't. So but that is really my favorite. And they always kind of serve it with a little pincho on a
bit of bread.
And has always been my favorite and will continue to be my favorite.
The next few episodes and the next few trips that we make, I am going to make it a point to go to a few special places where you can try some unique tortillas.
Yeah.
Because there are some really different variations. Like I know there's like a bar that I went to that had the tortillas almost using them as like bread, where they cut them in the middle and they put all this stuff inside, and it's like very unique. So knowing how much you like tortilla, I think we should make a point of doing some exploration.
After Carnival, Laura.
Yes.
Not prior.
Can you see that we are kind of getting more passionate about our food talks, and both of us are really kind of watching what we eat?
We might be hungry. That's why.
Correct. So for me, I think my favorite tapa, and it is a classic, but it's the Gilda. I just love Gildas, and it's quite funny. Every time I try to convince Nalini, my husband, other people around me to try and have boquerones and anchovies and all of these things that usually come in the Gilda, I always get this.
I like it with the anchovy.
Yeah.
Because it's salty.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it with the anchovy that's in the acid. The
boqueron.
The pickle.
Yeah.
That one I don't like. But I do really like the one with the anchovy. It's salty. It's a really good thing to have when you're having a drink.
Yes. Just with a beer, with a glass of white wine, whatever it is, I think Gildas are just amazing. And, there's so much variation. So if you want to look up what that looks like, that's Gilda. Yes. And we have the whole story about Gildas in another episode that we did a little while back. So thank you very much for joining us. Please make sure that if you're not following along, please follow, subscribe, leave a comment. Doing those things allows us to continue to grow this project and really move it forward, which is our passion. So we could not be any more grateful for you coming along on this journey.
Yeah. And you can always email us at hola@madeinspainpodcast.com. So
hola.
Yay. All right.
And you can start your email by saying hola.
Yeah. Spanish wine. Do you have a favorite, Laura?
This is going to sound extremely bougie, but I'm owning it. And it's, oh my God, what is it? It's just totally escaped my mind now. But you go first.
Okay.
First. I need to.
Okay, I prefer to drink sparkling, so bubbles, cava. I really enjoy cava. We had it in the last couple of episodes. One of the cavas from the Alicante region, Masset, voted as the best in the world in terms of cava. So that happens to be one of my favorite, at least right now. I do really very much enjoy that. And I don't mind cheap white wine. I can be fancy, but I can also be pretty basic. I am not the person to open a very expensive bottle of wine with, because I will not necessarily appreciate it.
I think 90% of the time it goes wasted on me. Yeah. I will have to look this up later or look because for just some reason I just blanked, but it is a red wine that Julio Iglesias was actually very involved in.
Right, okay.
And it is more on the expensive side. I've only had Vega Sicilia.
Okay.
Thank you. That was going to kill me. So Vega Sicilia, and it is a very expensive wine, but I've had it like a couple of times in my life. Maybe it was because of the situation, because of the pomp and circumstance around it, but it did taste amazing. So, and I think their kind of cheapest bottle is like almost a couple €100.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it is expensive, but it is very, very special. It's a very deep kind of red that, if you're having like a special meat or a special meal, or even if not with food, just kind of enjoying the red wine, it's very special. And I know that it was definitely very high on Mr. Iglesias's, he loved it. And I think at one point he was actually involved with the winery.
Oh, interesting. All right.
Vega Sicilia. Send us a bottle.
All right. So we have a winery very close to us in Guadalest, and it is called, the name of the winery,
Masos de Guadalest.
And what a magical place it is. You've been a few times. We went maybe
I think with you twice, with some friends from the US once, so 3 times total.
Yeah, so it's a really special winery. It's relatively new.
It's small.
It's very small, but what a magical afternoon. I mean, you can go up there. And also, I mean, this is for people who, even if you don't drink wine, they have olive oil production. So you can do that tasting instead. And they also have a tasting menu, which can or cannot include wine. So it's totally up to you.
We haven't done the food tasting. The food tasting, I think, is like 5 or 6 courses, but it was still very reasonable. The first time I went, so I think I'm leading up to the big kind of 5 or 6 course. The first time I went, I did the very basic tasting, which was €15. And that was 3 different kinds of wine, the white, the red, and the rosé.
We had that when we went, yeah.
And they brought out a few little tapas. Now, when we went, we had the €35.
But that included the whole tour.
Yes, it included the tour. It included seeing the production. And it included also, you saw it, some food and some embutidos. And they accommodated, I said, you don't eat pork. And they actually kind of brought out a solely cheese plate.
Right.
So that was really cool. And then the next level up is you do the food tasting.
Right. Now, I think what's special about the winery is that it's family run. They have basically revived this area, and opened this winery. It is, they consider it to be a family project for the siblings, the parents that are involved. And it is, I would say it's a micro-winery. It's quite small, but the wine that they're producing is such high quality and very affordable, along with the olive oils that they're also harvesting there. They have the winery, they have the hotel.
The hotel, I think, will be open next year. So they're in development, but that's going to be special. So that's going to be like a wine and olive oil themed hotel.
They have the olive oil as well as their other business. And they have preserved the family house, which, am I mistaken? But they said it's kind of like almost like a museum in a way.
It's like a museum, yes.
Yeah. So, and if anybody who's been to this area, if you know Guadalest, or when you're driving up the mountain, there's not a lot of things there. There are restaurants, and you have to get to Guadalest, which is the town at the top.
With
and
all
again,
the little weird museums.
And again, attracting hundreds of thousands of visitors every single year. But it's such a magical thing to see a family invest in this and do it at such a really high level, so professional, so well organized. It is a stunningly beautiful place. And the tour itself is really very informative.
It's very well done. It's like an hour and a half.
Did you, of the 3 wines, we tried the white, the red, as well as the rosé. What was your favorite?
I don't know if I'm starting to be a little bit biased towards this. I used to like reds more, but I like the white.
Me too.
The white was very easy to drink. It was very buttery. It was kind of sumptuous, if that's a word. I as much as I want to love rosé, I have still to try a rosé that I like. I am not a rosé fan. For some reason, it just doesn't taste like wine to me.
Neither. We've agreed on this. I think when I see people drinking rosé wine, I think it looks super pretty. The color is so special.
I would like to like rosé.
Me too.
I just don't. Like
we'll be out somewhere and we'll look at another table and say, "Oh wow, that looks so nice," but we never order it because
it doesn't
two
taste
of us don't.
good. Yeah. In my head, and of course I know this is not the actual case. It literally tastes like you've taken white wine and put a few drops of red wine in it, and it's just wrong.
Yeah.
It's like I know that's not the case, but obviously. But it is just, I don't know. It's something about the rosé. But yeah, the Masos de Guadalest, totally recommend it. It's the Vidal Balaguer family.
Yes.
And just we have some small tidbits here who have lived in this valley for generations. And after more than 100 years of this not actually being the family business, they're bringing it back 100 years.
Well, and I think this is so important for people to understand is that while you have big cities such as a Madrid, a Barcelona, whatever big city you want to name, there's a word for it in Spanish where the inner towns are emptying.
Mm-hmm.
What do they call that? There's a phrase. I know they talk about it where basically the towns that are in the mountains that, where the families had the home for.
Well, that's why you can, in some of these places, and we will be doing soon an episode on properties, but in some of these places you can find crazily affordable properties because they are trying to bring back people to the rural areas.
The rural areas that, by the way, have roads running through it. It's not as if you can't, there's paved roads,
like water, electricity.
There's everything there.
There's everything. It's just not a city.
It's just not a big
city.
In the
countryside.
Exactly. It's in the countryside. So the fact that a family has put that time and effort and love and they're doing it at such a really high level.
And they told us they could have grown more.
Right.
They could have made it bigger, but they multiple times emphasized on wanting to keep the quality under control because the lady was explaining that up to X amount of these vineyards, you can keep the quality at a certain level.
Right.
Over a certain amount, the consistency of the quality is very hard with the infrastructure for them to keep. So you'd have to grow exponentially to be able to still manage the quality.
And I think it's here, you were talking about a very expensive wine, but in reality, if you can spend €5, €10 on
you do not need to spend more than €5 to €6 to have an incredible bottle of wine in this country. I'm just really trying to get Vega Sicilia to send us a bottle of red so you can try it. That's why I'm mentioning it several times. No, seriously, but you really don't have to. Like red wine here, white wine, rosé for those who like it. Very affordable, highly recommended. In most, not like the big chain supermarkets, but in most kind of smaller supermarkets, you could go in and ask someone there, what do you recommend? You know, and people will passionately recommend, one or two. The other thing as well is like going online. Again, if you're shopping from Spain, you can go on Amazon and find just about anything. But there are some, specialized sites that do sell curated, collections of wine.
Okay.
You have one. You've subscribed to that.
The Maset.
The Maset, yeah.
So they just bring it to my house when I'm done. You just phone them and they bring another case. It's very convenient. But if you're going, I mean, I know there's just like really large wineries where you can book a tour. I would encourage anybody to just go out there and find the small little family-run business because you have a really curated experience. You have a beautiful view, a lovely afternoon, have a couple of glasses, take a taxi.
Yes. Don't drink and drive.
But just you learn so much more.
And it's just beautiful to be able to support family-run businesses or smaller businesses or people who are more entrepreneurial in nature than just these like super large, conglomerates that you're going to get when you go to the very, very large wineries. Again, nothing against the large wineries, but it's just not the same thing.
And it was very funny that when we went, that most of the people, because everybody was dressed quite nicely.
Yes.
Everybody had on really nice outfits and sort of curated because I guess they knew they were gonna take photos, right?
It's kind of like date afternoon. Yeah,
exactly. But I said to her at one point, I said, everybody is here to look at this place as a wedding venue. Like any couple that's here right now, they're here to see if they're going to have their wedding here.
Which was hilarious because at one point I heard one gentleman leaning in and going, "So do you do weddings here?"
Right. And couples were discussing the cocktail bar could go here.
Here we could have like the sweet stand of like.
Yeah. And I said, I'm like, see, everybody's here in their nice outfit to take pictures and to see if this would, but honestly, it is a beautiful spot for a ceremony or a wedding, a great view.
So shout out to Masos de Guadalest for doing such an amazing, beautiful project and bringing back something special when it comes to the wine and olive oil industry and hotels as well to our area.
Yeah, in our area. Now, Spain, the wine industry is between 2 to 3% of the GDP. So it is worth billions of dollars a year. And the thing I find as a foreigner here, drinking a glass of wine at lunchtime is not a big deal.
Absolutely not.
It's just not it's just normal, really.
Totally. And it's very normal to order wine by the glass.
Very much so.
It's not like you have to have a bottle. It's very normal to have a glass of wine in a business lunch or, it's not frowned upon. The same thing as having a caña or a beer. The other thing as well that I think is important, I didn't realize, but I guess Spain is in the top 3 of wine producers in the world.
Well, you have Italy, France, Spain. I mean, you have other countries that
like
produce
South
wine,
Africa,
but not at the level or volume as well that Spain does.
And I had read that I think it's from a terrain standpoint, is one of the largest size of vineyard terrains in the actual country. So, here it is. Spain has the largest vineyard surface area in the world.
Oh, I can see that.
Which is surprising. I don't know. For some reason, in my head, I don't think this is like such a big country.
It is very big, Laura.
Yeah. Well, when you compare it to the UK or it's So I think a couple of things as well that we wanted to mention. So some of the specific regions.
Yes.
So you have Rioja, which tends to be more like the Tempranillo. It's very elegant and has a lot of aging potential. So Rioja, you can have like the older, you could say
vines.
Exactly.
Okay. And that's more in the north.
Yes. So more like the Rioja is like a whole area.
Right.
And you can visit the area of Rioja. And then Catalonia has a lot of the cava and the traditional method for sparkling.
That's where we're hopefully this year we're able to visit.
Freixenet.
Yes.
Then we have Galicia has the Albarino, which are the crisp whites and like seafood. Perfect. Like they're perfect for, like all your fish, etc. And not listed as one of the top regions, but one of our favorite white wines, or sort of between a white wine and a cava, is the Chacoli or the Chacolina. Which is this is like one of our 2025 highlights, is finding the Chacoli or the Chacolina.
It's a very fresh white wine that has a tiny bit of sparkle to it, but it's such a lovely thing to have in the summer. It's just super light, and they pour it in because we had it in Bilbao, but they pour it from, a height like this. So it just aerates it. It's so good.
So now when I walk into a supermarket, because they don't sell it everywhere here, and I see the chacoli, I immediately get it for Nalini because I think, because, they don't sell it everywhere.
No, they don't.
And if you go into a restaurant or a bar and ask for chacoli, like they kind of look at you weird if you're not in the Basque country.
It, Laura and I.
multiple times.
We've done it multiple times just to get a reaction because we know they're not going to have it, and they just
chacoli.
They just look at you.
If you go somewhere Basque, though, yes, 100%.
Yes, in the north, but not here.
Yeah,
they don't have it.
So hopefully this entices you to try some Spanish wine if you haven't tried it. And what we'll do is we will link on the episode and on our social so you can check out Masos de Guadalest and you can check out some of the wines that we mentioned.
Yes. They're also not sponsoring us, by the way. This is just our experience. This is that we have no partnership with them. This has solely been our experience and us sharing it with
I don't think we
listeners.
could sit here and talk about a wine that we thought was crappy if we didn't like it. So there's a conflict of interest. We can't be sponsored by a wine that we don't like, and they're not sponsoring us. But we just wanted to recognize when there is great work being done and it's, local produce and it's sustainable and all these things, we wanted to make sure that we highlight that.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome. Slice of life. Slice of life.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. We're going to do this slice of life. Whoa, I'm already hot. Okay, we are
What happened? Did you try it? Did you try it?
No, but I know it's spicy. Right. So we've been talking about wine, Spanish wine, and now we're going to talk about Trini wine, which is not actual.
Whining.
Yes, it is a way of dancing, let's say.
How would you describe whining?
Oh, my goodness. I think if you look up the definition of it, it says to move one's hips from side to side in a gyrating motion. Something to that effect. But we are headed to Trinidad for Carnival. And this is the first time not the first time I've been to Trinidad, but the first time that I'm going to Carnival. So,
how are you feeling about it?
Super excited. It's been a bucket list item for me for a while. I've always thought, I'm going to do it. And then, I don't know, just this past year, I thought, let's do it. So we booked our tickets. We have our costumes. We're just going to do a little, sort of a surface,
like
chat.
A little capsule.
Today. But we are going to do a much deeper dive into it. Now, yes. For anybody that doesn't know, Carnival in Trinidad is vastly different than Carnival in
anywhere else.
In Rio.
Or Carnival in Cadiz, or Carnival in New Orleans.
Right.
Or Carnival anywhere else. I think the Trini Carnival is...
Well, it's the first in the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
And please don't come for me if there is another Caribbean island that they think they started it. Don't.
Go for her. We love a debate.
Let's debate. We can debate. And also, when we go to Trinidad, we will learn. So we will bring back all the information, etc. So this past week, I said to somebody, we're getting ready for Carnival, and Laura and I are going, so that's why I'm being really diligent about exercise and what I'm eating, etc. And she said, so what's your fancy dress? So here, when you say Carnival, it means fancy dress, which, how would you explain fancy dress?
So basically here, Carnival is like you dress up like, let's say, Alice in Wonderland, or you dress up like a dog or a cat, or you dress up, most men dress up like women from the night for some reason,
So there's a very different meaning to it when you say Carnival. Carnival in Trinidad is costumes. It is pageantry. It is
skin bearing.
A lot is very much so. And it has roots in colonialism. That's another deep dive. So we're not going to
And there is a connection between Trinidad and Spain, and then Trinidad, where we're going, is called Port of Spain.
Right. So you've had the Spanish influence, you've had the French, it was a British colony. And over the last, since the 50s or so, Carnival has become something that is international, that people from all over the world come to this little island off the coast of Venezuela for a party of a lifetime.
So I'm tagging along because this was really Nalini's kind of like bucket list item. And I thought, this sounds really cool.
Right. So we're in carnival prep. Now,
Yay!
This
can't wait. Like, honestly, it is something that I think is going to be an experience of a lifetime. So I can't wait to share with our audience what this is going to be like.
We're beyond. I mean,
follow along on socials because
we're counting down the days. So.
We're literally in a countdown right now. So Trini Carnival.
Yeah, as we're filming this. Now, we're talking a little bit about food, a little snack that you would have that's typical in other Caribbean islands as well. But this is a Trini thing. It's called mango chow.
I've never seen this.
Okay, so this would be, let's say that this is almost like a version of a tapa.
Okay.
Where you would eat it when you are having some drinks.
All right.
You know, or like a beach day. Or, yeah.
Am I going to be able to talk after eating this?
Okay. Listen, I'm sweating. It's hot. Holy cow. And by the way, she asked for more piece. I took one piece. Woo! Oh my, that's really hot. Whoa.
Oh my God. That is so spicy.
Whoa.
What kind of chilies are these?
Probably Scotch bonnet.
Wow. Well, that'll wake you up.
Yeah.
Not for the faint of heart.
Yeah. Right. So,
my tongue is on fire.
This is something, yes, you would have as you're not going to eat a whole bowl of it by yourself. You can make it with,
unless you want to end up heavily damaged.
You can eat it or have it when you are socializing, maybe playing cards, maybe hanging out. It's just it's like a pickle. But
it's like a very spicy pickle.
Very spicy pickle. You can have it with pineapple, mango, cucumber. Garlic. Yeah, there's like a lot of garlic. The recipe, we can put the recipe up, but it's pretty simple. It's an acid, salt. So acid would be lime, salt, the pepper, some garlic, and the Trini version of, it's cilantro, but it's called culantro. Yeah. Or shadow benny.
If we put this recipe up, people may come for us. Like, this is not very public friendly. It is so spicy.
No, it's, Ooh, yeah.
We do want to do a shout out to Hearts.
Hearts Carnival. That's the band.
Carnival.
That's the band that we're in. And we're playing in the costume Wild Bloom. And
it is wild.
Feel free to Google that. And yes, right.
We will be doing a whole deep dive on soca, S-O-C-A.
Or soca, not soca.
Soca.
Soca. A long O. Soca.
There you go. So can't wait for this.
Watch for Laura in TNT.
Yeah. It's going to be like Trinidad gone wild. Laura, for the first time, getting to dance for 8 days straight. We do love dancing. So I think I'm just very excited. So
we're beyond excited. So yeah, that's literally a little taster for you.
It's hard to come back from that. Like my mouth is literally on fire right now. It is so spicy.
I'm sweating. Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
All right.
So sentence of the day.
All
right. So this one, since we did wine and whining.
Yes.
Is al pan, y al vino, vino.
Bread, wine. It's life.
Al pan, y al vino, vino. What do you think that means?
Let's go.
It means call things as what they are.
Oh, okay. I would not think that.
Al pan, y al vino, vino. Like, come on. Like, hey. So if you see someone that is kind of beating around the bush or not being direct,
right,
or you want to really make a statement and it's like, this is, it is what it is. Al pan, y al vino, vino.
Okay. All right. Well, cheers to us and good luck to both of us for Carnival 2026.
Can someone get us a glass of milk now, please? Okay. Awesome. So thank you so much for being along in this ride with this episode. Next time, we'll be sharing lots of fun stuff from Carnival, etc. So looking forward to it. And please, as mentioned, make sure that you follow, subscribe, send us questions, connect with us. We absolutely love to hear from this incredible community.
Yeah. Bye for now.
Bye for now.